Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Tonight we are going to be making one of our new summer products, which is the Spanish rice. Now you can make this as a side dish for a Mexican meal or really any kind of meal, but I'm actually going to do a one-pot meal tonight. So what I have right now is minute rice in the steamer. If you read the packaging directions, it calls for long grain rice, 1.5 cups, and then 4.5 cups of water. My understanding is of long grain rice, you add a lot more water than you would with some other types of rice. So you want to make it with whatever type of rice you have, whatever the way you would be to make that. So I have minute rice in here. I have 2 cups of minute rice and 2 cups of water in our multi-purpose steamer. I've already added that in. And I'm going to be making, like I said, a one-pot meal. So I'm going to add in 1 can of corn. I'm going to be adding in some frozen sweet peas. So I'm just using what we had on hand tonight. You can use frozen, you can use fresh, you can use your choice of vegetables. I'm going to put in probably about 1/2 bag of this so we don't have too many peas in there. That's a lot of corn and a lot of peas. I'm also going to add in some onion that was chopped up. And then some chicken. This is probably about maybe about a pound, about 2 breasts worth of chicken. Okay, and then our Spanish rice. So the seasoning. Let me open this up. And the recipe on the back of the package also calls for a teaspoon, I think it is, a tablespoon of oil. I'm not going to add the oil, but it also calls for a tablespoon of tomato paste. And I learned this from my mentor, Becca Harrison. Instead of opening up a can of tomato paste just to take out 1 tablespoon and not use the whole can, I'm actually just going to put a squirt of tomato ketchup in there. And that's going to serve as my tomato paste. It smells really good. Okay, so I have some just Heinz tomato ketchup. Again, I'm just using the ingredients that we have on hand, and I'm actually not going to measure this. I'm just going to kind of squirt that around as roughly maybe a tablespoon of ketchup. I'm going to stir all this up, and then I'm going to put this in the microwave. I'm going to do it for 6 minutes and then test it and see how it looks. And the reason I'm doing this one in the multi-purpose steamer is I'm going to actually put the trivet tray on top of it while it cooks. And that helps keep the rice, everything from boiling over. So that's a tip for you. Whenever you cook rice in the steamer, put the trivet tray on top to help prevent boilovers. All right, so I'm going to get this mixed really good here. All right. If you can see that, that's all kind of mixed up in there. I'm going to put the trivet tray on top, like I said, and then put the lid on it. Put this in the microwave for 6 minutes, and then we'll be back and see how it looks. Okay, so the chicken cooked for 6 minutes. Halfway through, after 3 minutes, I actually stopped and I stirred it. So let's see how we're doing here. Take the trivet tray out that I put on top. And be careful because this can be hot. I have a clean spoon. Fortunately, my husband reminded me, I started to grab for the spoon that I'd stirred with the raw chicken, and he reminded me that we need to get a clean spoon for stirring now that it's cooked. This looks really good. And I also had a thought too along the way that add some lime juice. I think that would be good. So I just pulled this out of our fridge. I don't have any fresh lime, unfortunately. And I'm gonna squirt some lime juice into here too. Again, just kind of using whatever I have on hand, whatever veggies you happen to have handy or that you like. These products are totally customizable. So I'm going to put that in. I'm going to stir this up. And I actually think it looks like it's done. If you needed to cook it for an extra minute, if your chicken is still raw, you can do that. All right, so I'm going to plate this so you can see what it looks like. And then we also realized that we have some tomatoes in the fridge that need to be eaten. So I'm going to put a little bit of tomato on top of it. Here's our 1 dish meal. Chicken with Spanish rice. I added corn, peas and onions. And because we have some tomatoes that need used, I'm going to sprinkle some tomatoes on top. And this is a lot of food. For the two of us, this would give us several meals. Might even freeze some of the leftovers. Could have made this a much smaller quantity if you're only cooking for 1 or 2 people. You know, use however as much or little as you want. Put some tomatoes on there. There you go. There's our 1-dish meal made in 6 minutes using the multi-purpose steamer. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us.